Hey people, Intro here. Preview 3 Faction War. This is Sil and Tau versus the Eldar for the blue Tau team. We have two Ethereals. This is Dark Angel and this is Rogue Trader. These are support heroes fighting in melee, beginning with a health boosting passive aura. They can get other auras and invocations and all sorts of good stuff. Alongside them, rounding off the team, there he goes, is Honeken's XV8 Crisis Commander, a heavy ranged hero bringing powerful firepower and some utility. Has a jetpack as well, as you saw. On the red Eldar team is EM7 and a Farseer support hero fighting in melee combat. Powerful buffs and some control. Alongside a line guy, as I call him, with a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat. Some powerful disruption and support. And rounding off the teams is Warp Spider Exarch Scrap, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default. Great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. What do we got here? Fire Warriors into Croup Carnivores and double Fire Warriors for the other Tau players. Howling Banshees all around for the Eldar. Maybe we'll see some Ritual Blade play with this guy to support the Croup Carnivores and some of those invocations as well, eh? Bit 2v1 here, kind of. Two Ethereals. That yellow, those yellow buff circles is the passive health boosting 20% aura. I think it stacks as well when there's two Ethereals close enough together. Over on the east side, Banshees getting through onto the Fire Warriors. Pathfinders maybe missed their photon grenade, or maybe they hit the Warlock with it. Are they going to wipe them? Pretty close to wiping those Fire Warriors. That was a good chunk of XP for the Banshees. I don't think they're going to make it though. Troop Carnivores on rain on the retreat path, and Pathfinders and Fire Warriors, I think they're going to get shot down here. Yep, Banshees did not make it out. Bit of an overextension. Those were line guys, who now gets a Guardian weapon team on the way. May replace the Banshees because it's very useful to have some melee units you can get in on the Tau guys. The Croup Carnivores do not mess around. They have that little bit of health regen on kill, that Grisly Feast, and the Ethereals can buff them up quite a lot. No sign of any Ritual Blade yet. In fact, there's a heavy gun drone on the way. What is that? Oh, you've got your air-bursting fragmentation projector. Okay, that's a name for a weapon. There's some grenade DPS in radius 4. Ethereal capping contested points alongside the XV8 fella. And are they going to get through onto the power? They're shooting off the Warp Spider Exarch at the moment. Eldar joining the fight again. Can the Shuriken set up in time? There we go. Suppresses the Croup Carnivores that they're going to need to run, which means these guys back off. They don't want to trade with the Shuriken. There's Marker Lights on the Guardian weapon team, removing their cover bonuses. That's thanks to those Pathfinders. Where are they? There they are. They don't deal damage while they're Marker Lighting something though. More Howling Banshees on the way for Line Guy, and we did get some Croup Carnivores for Dark Angel. Howling Banshees yelling at the XV8 Commander. As you saw there, his default jump doesn't have huge range on it, but he can boost it with the Recon armor. Warlock knocks down the Ethereal. Maybe the Merciless Witchblade, hey, to drain their energy, but they are quite energy intensive with their unifying mantra and stuff. Not the best melee combatants. They have around 28 DPS in melee. Slightly more than the Apothecary, but they have less health than him. And Robes of Repulsion here for the Grav Inhibition field. There's some big AoE suppression. Does take a while to get going though. He's got like a fancy animation where he twirls his staff around and plants it before he starts to inhibit the gravity of stuff. I don't know how he's doing that exactly. Fancy Tau technology, I guess. Warlock a bit too close to that heavy gun drone squadron. These guys trying to defend the VP from every angle. Warp Spider can maybe get in and tie up those guys, but he's taking a bunch of damage there. Marker Lights. Were they even in cover? They got messed up either way. Pretty cool weapon, this thing. 464 to 415 on the VPs. You're going to cap? There we go. Maybe. Ethereal's going to cap. Rotating over here is Dark Angel to try and help out. Get a flank maybe. Crack shot on the Shuriken. Global ability of the Warp Spider Exarch. And it's tier 2 for Line Guy. Straight into a Falcon maybe. Awesome Wraithguard. Wraithguard usually trade quite well with these ranged Tau guys. Look at that though. All three Tau heroes getting the Croup Carnivores up. Do we have any thrill of the hunt? We do over here. Gives them power weapons, more health, more melee skill, and the quill traps also allows them to debuff speed on hit. Oh, down goes that shuriken. That's what you see, that green effect on those banshees there. I think it's a 40% speed debuff, isn't it? Yeah. Pretty damn effective. And there's that unifying mantra from the Ethereal boosting damage resistance alongside the passive health boost. Quite powerful. There's the tier 2 for line guy. No ritual blade though, eh? Ritual blade heals and gives bonus damage on hit to surrounding allies. Quite nice if you're alongside the troop carnivores. But no sign of that yet. Warp spiders on the way for line guy. And frustrate the troop carnivores with their teleport maybe. Try to bait them in with the warp spiders and then teleport away. Banshees dodging the air bursting fragmentation things. I guess they're just fancy Tau frag grenades, are they? Use the war shout to dodge the troop carnivores there. Maybe some Faltru's wing, eh? Help those melee trades. There's tier 2 for rogue trader and tier 2 for scrap. What are we going to see in tier 2 from the Tau fellas? I want to see the greater Warlock. I love seeing that fella. Should trade with the banshees quite well, I think, since it heals on hit. 456 to 384. Center is still blue. These heavy gun drone guys are here. A bit of a shuriken versus gun drone match going on. Meanwhile, Banshee's repositioning alongside the Farseer, who can heal them now with Spirit Stones. Oh, we have the Invocation of Tides and Invocation of Grace. Nice buffs for the troop carnivores. Yeah, Invocation of Grace. I think the ability is called Zephyr of Grace, which removes suppression and gives a little bit of a speed boost. And the Power of Tides boosts melee damage and gives you knockback immunity, so some really good invocations to help trade with the Banshees. 456 to 360. Something just wiped there. Yeah, Honeken just lost his Pathfinders. There's Repulsor, what is it called? Repulsor Blast, the ability. Knocking down those guys. Also has the Armored Battlesuit, so it can knock back on landing with a bunch of health and some health regen too. There's the anti-grav inhibition field thing for the Banshees ran off. Still a shuriken in mid. In fact, there's 2 shurikens in mid to help control it. Power hit. Got flanked though. Oh, I didn't get a gen down. Almost got a gen down. 445 to 360. Haven't seen the invocations being used yet. I don't think Zephyr of Grace actually has a like a visual effect. I think you just see them moving faster, but Power of Tide certainly does. It's like this red thing. Autark jumping in for some disruption, very, very useful. Surrounded by troop carnivores now, though. These guys don't have Thrill of the Hunt. That special attack seems to do nothing. That's one of those special attacks that looks like it should hit everything around her, but I don't think it does. Unifying Mantra up. Farseer getting caught out of it here. Needs to run. Gets away thanks to the suppression from the shuriken covering her a bit there. There's a Devilfish. Devilfish on the field for Rogue Trader. Got some decent firepower support vehicle for the Tau. Almost said for the Eldar there. 412 to 360. They can respond with Bright Lancers. There we go. Bright Lance on the way for scrap. Don't see any other Bright Lancers though. And some more Fire Warriors for Dark Angels. A lot of firepower is going to happen. Are one of you guys becoming a Bright Lance? Yep. Both of these guys are becoming a Bright Lance. And Haywire Grenade is going to go in. Maybe? Oh, they don't have it yet. There we go. I don't think they chucked it. Troop Carnivores wiped the Warp Spiders, in fact. There's that Bright Lance. Is it getting shots? It is getting shots. Down goes the Devilfish. Oh, we had cracked shot on it. I was going to say there's no guide on that thing. How's it shooting over there? There was cracked shot. Yeah, line guy lost some stuff there, but he got the kill. Now the Farseer is in a bit of a bother. Goes down. Oh, these guys got their Kroot Shaper leader, look. Is that silver looking fella. He's got heavy melee ritual blades. 376 to 360. Very close on the VPs. Tau taking the mid. Warp Spider Exarch's got his power blades in now. 53 heavy melee DPS on this guy. Tier 2 for Honeken. It's a late tier 2. What does Line Guy get now, though? Maybe some Wraith Guard, maybe double up Wraith Guard with Falchu's wing support. I think it would do some work. Still haven't seen Power of Tides been used. Where are the Kroot Carnivores? They're out there. Do they all have Thrill of the Hunt now? They do. Not something you need to rush, potentially, against the Eldar, because the power melee doesn't really benefit you that much in Tier 1, although the health boost and stuff is nice, I guess. Tier 3s for EM7 and Line Guy. No Wraith Guard then, at least not now. Scrap might have to get some more Tier 2 stuff out to help delay. There's a leapfrogging in tech, but going to be behind on the field, I think. Honeken only just hit Tier 2. Those guys are going Tier 3. There's the shield drone thing from the Tau guys. Unifying Mantra is also active, and some levitation field from the Farseer. Can she make it out? She cannot. She threw her Psychic Storm in earlier. 2-to-1 cap for the Eldar. Farseer down, trying to get onto the power here. Bright Lance isn't much use because the Devilfish is down. Got 3 of the 4 invocations there, Dark Angel. Level 4 Ethereal too. Can you defend the power, guys? I don't think so. Maybe you can get a nice grenade on these fellas, though, as they close in. Autark comes in to disrupt them, look. Doesn't have her shield and doesn't have her spear either. Slowing her down. She's going to draw them into the grenade, I think. Maybe? Nope. No grenade. They are going to get a full power bash, so I think there's a quill trap thing. I think it knocks you back and slows you down or something. Autark jumps back for the heal and the weapon damage bonus. Are they going to chase? No, Banshees don't want to chase, apparently. Was that Power of Tides? I thought it was a red buff. Maybe that was the Zephyr one. I'm not sure. 376 to 282. I don't know why they weren't used earlier. Oh, it's got Invocation of Fire now, yeah. So we can do the Storm of Fire stuff. Meanwhile, some fragmentation damage on the Warp Spiders who teleport away with Crack Shot on them. Forcing melee on the Fire Warriors. And they've got their Exarch with the Power Blade, so they're easily winning that melee fight. And now they're shooting. Speaking of melee, this guy's in there with his Power Blades too. Tying up that XV8 Crisis commodities. Kroot Carnivore just hanging out back there. Their infiltration when they're idle. Autark doing some good work actually for Line Guy. He's got some Dark Creepers up now. Powerful ranged infantry. With good anti-infantry damage. We'll see if they can trade with the Tau though. And here comes a Fire Prism for EM7. Krutox Riders for Dark Angel. Very interesting unit. And oh, Seer Council for Scrappy did go Tier 3. Rogue Trader's gone Tier 3 as well. How much are these guys? 460, 65. Tau holding the mid for now. Do we have any of those grav inhibitor drones? I don't see any. There's still 2 Pathfinders on the field. Oh, there's one. Is it? Is that one? Yeah, that's one. Because they do have their... They can get a recon drone as well. Guardians got shot down. More Seer Council for Line Guy this time. Krutox Riders are out. Here they are. 700 hit points of regular infantry armor. They have auto cannons on the top, and they have heavy melee weapons. I think the Krutox fellas just punch you. I think is how it works. Maybe they headbutt you or something. There's the Storm of Fire to boost weapon range. Oh, and a missile barrage from Dark Angel. And a Utilitarian Annihilation. Very expensive piece of war gear, but look what it can do. Huge disruption. Gets the Mantle of Unity as well. For Unifying Mantra to become Exalted Mantra. Given a 25% damage boost. Damage resistance, I should say. And his regular aura becomes a 30% boost. Seer Council are in. With Distortion Field on them. In amongst the Kroot Carnivores, but here comes the Krutox Riders. And they have good disruption, those guys, with the, I think it's called Thrashing. But it disrupts everything around them, not just enemies. They got some hits on the Fire Prism even. You can disrupt those guys. It's a good way to keep them off you. So maybe some warp throw or something. There's the thrashing. Oh look, that was the power of tides there. Commandos from Dark Angel. Brutox Riders white. Got too close in there. And I guess you can throw his invocations on the Brutox Riders, right? Don't see why not. We did get triple fire warriors for Dark Angel. A lot of firepower. 376 to 185. Repulsor. Oh, I guess he's got no energy for Repulsor Blast. Can they deal with the double? Triple Seer Council they need to deal with now. That is a lot. Greater Warlock maybe. We just save up for Riptides. Yeah, we've got Riptide on the way for Rogue Trader. And more Brutox Riders this time for Honeken. Look at that disruption. Bit of a pulse grenade went in there to debuff their damage. Here come the Fruit Carnivores I mean, with Power of Tides on them and probably Zephyr's Grace as well. Ouch. Ouch. Messed up the Seer Council. And it will prevent the Seer Council from knocking them over as well. It's a really nice buff for them to have. And now they retreat. Eldar can take the mid. Seer Council is making a big difference so far. Some late Pathfinders for Dark Angel, maybe to help with controlling the Seer Council with their Photon Grenade and their fancy drone. More Brutox Riders coming in. Here you are. Howling Banshees yelling somewhere here. Yeah, but now they run. Looks like Rogue Trader now has the Storm of Fire as well. Invocation of Fire. And still has this, which is going to be very handy when there's triple Seer Council around. You can suppress all of them. Timing is going to be an issue maybe though. It does take a while to activate. Warp Spider Exarch almost went down, but they did get a decap over there, the Eldar fellas. Look at this. Fruit Carnivores capping the VP. They're glowing red because they're partially revealed they got infiltrated by being idle. Warp Spider's getting shots on. Some good shots on actually. Brutox Riders finding the Guardian Weapon Team. Brutox Carnivores. Fruit Carnivores on the retreat and they kill them off. More Guardians coming in for EM7. Oh, they need to repair the Fire Prism, I guess. Yeah. There's that Riptide with his Ion Accelerated, bullying these poor Guardian Weapon Team fellas. He has vehicle armor, so that Bright Lance is going to be important. So maybe is the Fire Prism. Seer Council coming in to help out those Dark Creepers. Yep, Brutox Riders out of there. Riptide jumps in. He's got 3 abilities, this guy, but if he uses 2 of them within 20 seconds, he starts to overheat and damage himself. Also damage nearby enemies, though, so you could use it offensively, like jump in as your second ability and start overheating. Here's the grab inhibitor field into a levitation field, though. We'll throw him back, deactivate it. Did it deactivate it? I don't think it did. I don't think he cares about that. He's got all the invocations over here, Dark Angel. And he gets a bunch of energy regen whenever he uses an invocation. So he might be able to use them all, one after the other, if he gets high enough level. Level 5 at the moment. Ethereal spots the webway over here. And here comes another webway, apparently. 321 to 149 on the VPs. Decent lead for the tower. What's this? That's some Guardians looking to cap stuff. Scrap down to 2 units. Get some Dark Creepers of his own. Fire Dragons on the way for Line Guy. There's the Farseer. Is she down in there? Oh, she's just hanging out there. What's the Riptide doing? Just hanging out. Trying to get on this VP again. That was the Ethereal Slash. And we do have Falchu's Wing. Ortot's got her Spear as well. Gets in on the setup team. Are those guys going to move? There we go. Now they're moving. Riptide comes over with the blast stuff. And the Brutox Riders and the Fruit Carnivores see off the Warlock. Does he make it away? I think he's okay. I think he's okay. Did not get a decap though. What am I hearing? Oh, missile barrage from Dark Angel's Ethereal. Level 7 now. Did he wipe out those Guardians? I think he wiped those Guardians out. That'll do it. broadside battlesuit now for Rogue Trader to try and shut down the mid, I guess. And some crisis battlesuits from Dark Angel. Have burst cannons on both arms. They can jump around and stuff, but they cannot retreat. There's Shimmer Orb. Try and help get the cat, but the Kroot Carnivores are in there. Shimmer Orb only blocks ranged attacks. Seer Council trying to get on them. Banshee's piling in now. Warp Spider had to teleport out. Got a decap though. That was the big overcharged Ion Accelerator, but then the heal came in from the Farseer and the Autarch came in for the heal. We have heavy melee Seer Council. Maybe one of them is. No, I think it's only the Banshees with the heavy melee spears in there. That Seer Council's got the power melee blades. Yeah, I think they need to get their heavy melee blades out. These guys have it. Empowered Singing Spears. These guys don't have it either. There's the Ion Beam. Global Nuke for the tower. You can control this. And it does a bunch of damage per blast. I think you get 6 of the blasts. Fire Dragon's buffed by Guide, I think. Good damage to all targets, and they help take out the Kroot Carnivores. More Kroot Carnivores coming in, though. Getting debuffed by a Reaper's Grasp there, and some Barrage going in. That was decent. Flanking Tau. You sure about that, fellas? A bunch of pulse grenades went in to debuff, trying to debuff the Seer Council, I think. What is that? Oh, Psychic Storm. Can't suppress the Crisis Battlesuits, though. 306 to 104. Single cap for the Eldar. Another Ion Beam coming in from one of the other Tau fellas. Here comes a Hammerhead for Honeken. And there's the broadside, look. A setup unit. Good damage to all targets with his railgun. But he can't retreat and has poor mobility. Another Fire Prism on the way for scrap. So some fierce fighting, but Eldar come out of it with not a lot of units on the board. Tau with tons of units on the board. The Seer Council are carrying here though, aren't they? Doing huge amounts of work. Warlock is down. 291 to 97. And the Missile Barrage using it to power bash. Okay, I guess it's doing decently. In fact, did it fully bash the power there with Missile Barrage? That's a bit mental. Level 8 Ethereal now. Trying to chase down the Riptide. But another Missile Barrage from the other Ethereal comes in and says no. Bunch of stuff on retreat path. None of it's melee though. We do see Fusion Blasters in for the Crisis Battlesuits. Melter weapons on each arm. So each one of those models is doing like 40 damage melter. Banshee's coming in. Using the War Shout. You can't suppress these guys though. Leaping away. Now getting tied up again. Can they finish them? Do they have their other jump? Oh, Fire Prism with some friendly fire. Banshees run. Seer Council trying to chase. Crisis Battlesuits are down. They tried to jump after the Fire Prism. I think that was very greedy. Very greedy. 291 to 67. Fierce, fierce fighting. Seer Council didn't drop a model there. That was amazing. Dark Creepers to blast his Krutox Riders now. Krutox Riders back off. What level are you? Level 5. The mid is uncapped. Tons of firepower on the Seer Council, but they should be okay. Fire Dragon's a bit of a flank. They're trying to put a decap on here. There's a Quill Trap. 291 to 67, still 1-1. There's the Grav inhibition from Rogue Trader. Gets a decap. Autarch on the drones as well. Can she wipe them? Was that a sync kill? What was that animation you did? Seer Council trying to get the kill. Couldn't quite manage it. Broadside trying to get himself back to the mid. We've got a railgun Hammerhead now. Why would you get to hunt down the Fire Prism maybe? But it's not as good against infantry, this thing. Compared to the Ion Accelerator it starts with. Riptide backing off again. More Krutox Riders this time for Rogue Trader. There's the Grav Inhibitor drone doing its thing, and as there comes another Missile Barrage. Trying to stop the cat. Oh, the Quill Trap went off. That can stun the Banshees a bit. Got some more Crisis Battlesuits for Dark Angel now. See a councillor in there though, and they have to leap away. Still missile barraging, eh? That must have been two of them in a row, right? From the 2 Ethereals? I think so. Yeah, they're both over here. Eldritch. Pretty good one. Riptide was able to leap out. Did some decent damage to the infantry. Not sure if it wiped anything though. And there's another hammerhead on the way. Double hammerheads for Honeken. Ethereal level 8. Just tanking the Farseer. Are you going to use your levitation field? Maybe it was on cooldown. I did throw down the Psychic Storm though. But those guys will take their natural back. 280 to 67 on the VPs. Plutox Riders trying to chase down the Fire Prism. Riptide in the mid. Double hammerheads in the mid. It's not easy to approach this, eh? That's a singularity, I think. Yep. D-Cannon is sent running though. Plutox Riders are still chasing. Yeah, they just punch things really, really hard. Double Warp Spiders showing up all of a sudden for EM7. And since those guys have regular infantry armor, they're doing some good damage to those Plutox Riders. Here come more Plutox Riders. These guys got their fusion blasters in. Broadside is where now? Coming out of base. Cheeky webway over here, look. And they have some on the western side as well. To get on the VP. Eldar can outmaneuver the Tau. But they can outmaneuver everyone. Riptide jumps out. Was that an overheat? Oh, the grab inhibition drones chucking away the Seer Council. Such strong knockback strength on that. Autark, don't get yourself killed. Done really well so far. Okay, she runs off. She's level 4, look at that. Does she not have a shield? Crisis Battlesuit's having to jump out. I think they're going to get the broadside down though. Yep. Broadside Battlesuit taken out. And they've taken the VP. Look, double cap for the Eldar. Plutox Riders having a go now. They've found some Dark Creepers. Level 3 Dark Creepers. Can they get out? There's the thrashing to disrupt. Oh, they backed off. Dark Creepers did make it out. Here comes a big old melee force for the Eldar. There's the thrashing. But they're getting slowed down by something. Oh, Sense of Stone is in there from the Invocation of Stone. Gives you huge damage resistance, but it slows it down by 90%. Riptide jumps forward, gets a decent shot in there. Still 2 hammerheads in the mid. Ouch. Ion Blast on retreat path. Very nasty. Very, very nasty. And they cap the mid though. Crisis Commander's down there. They got DC. Someone get disconnected. Hope not. 247 to 41 on the VPs. And they did punch the Fire Prism down. EM7 down to a single Seer Council. And a double cap for the Tau. Looks like maybe someone disconnected at the end. Maybe he wanted to concede. I don't know. EM7 is still getting units. Some Wraith Guard on the way. Yeah, maybe some Wraith Guard earlier with him today. Plutox Riders with that disruption again. And again. Double cap for the Eldar. They are going to see this victory out, but the Eldar gave it a hell of a go. The Seer Council made huge differences. But they all get level 4. Oh, those guys didn't. But there's the game. Double cap at the end for the Tau. I think it was closer than the VPs would have said there. Once they got those 2 hammerheads in the mid, it was very difficult to contest it. As I said, a bunch of Wraith Guard screened by the Seer Council and the Banshees I think would have been pretty good. And perhaps an Avatar chucked in there, eh? But we got level 9 Ethereal for Dark Angel. Had all the invocations. Had the Missile Barrage and had the Robes of Repulsion as well. Rogue Trader level 4. The same war gear but had less invocations. Only Invocation of Fire. Crisis Commander level 7 down. Had that fancy fragmentation thing. Projector. Level 7 Farseer here. Level 5 Warlock. Again, maybe Warp Throw. Warp Throw is so bloody good against these mass ranged armies. You can chuck them into trouble. And level 4 Warp Spider Exarch with the Shimmer Orb at the end trying to get the cap. There you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war. And I think Rogue Trader who sent this one in. I'll see ya next time.